I have had the luxury the last 3 days of spending time with my colleague John El Mokadem as he's been running his workshop, Finding Solid Ground. I spoke at part of the event and then I was there just to listen. John's a wonderful teacher, and so I was there to listen and see what there was for me to see there. And I had a lovely 3 days, I have to say. Highly recommend it if you get the chance. And one of the things that hit me so strongly from that retreat that I really noticed was that as John was teaching, I noticed he kept saying, he was pointing to his flip chart, and we were having conversations, exploring solid ground and what there is underneath all of the, like where we can kind of hang our hat. What is our solid ground in this crazy changing world? And what I noticed was that John would point to his flip chart and he would start sentences saying, did you know that there's solid ground? Did you know that this is what's going on up here on the flip chart is temporary and transient? Did you know that you're fundamentally okay no matter what? Now, I'm paraphrasing his bits that came after the did you know that? Because what I realized, or what I kind of realized for myself, what I heard again as I was listening was, that's all that counts. Do you know the facts? That's it. What you do with them is totally out of my remit, right? So it's just really simply knowing how it works. That's all we're exploring here. And there are implications of that that will start to show themselves in your life when you know how it works. So I'll give you another example of that. So I found myself very recently just falling in love with nature documentaries again, which I have ages. So I'm watching A Perfect Planet with Richard David Attenborough. And the episode I was watching was about the weather, and he was talking about these turtles that come up to this island, and they're on this island and they lay all their eggs, and lovely pictures of beautiful turtles. And then he showed this view of the turtles drowned turtles all over the beach. And he said, the weather patterns are so consistent, been so consistent over all the millennia, right? Like over all time. And so the animals have created their patterns based on the reliable weather systems of coming up eggs and then coming back. And it used to be there would be a freak flood once every century or something, he said. And now, because of climate change, this happens every 4 years. And then he moved on to another part of the story. He didn't say, so that means that you should blah, blah, blah. He didn't say, so the implications of that are blah, blah, blah. There was no call to action. There was no insinuation that anything should change. He simply stated the fact that this now happens every 4 years to these turtles and on our planet. But here's the thing. He was kind of saying, did you know? Did you know this? And I was like, no, I didn't. Now, I don't have to do anything with that. It's something I didn't know that I now know. But what I found was that when I was clearing up some stuff after dinner, I thought twice and put something in the recycling I might not have done otherwise. Right? Like I thought twice about it. I didn't consciously think, oh, because of the turtles, I need to make sure I recycle better. I noticed that straight away the implications of knowing that fact started to show themselves in my life. Right? Like chances are we run the water when we brush our teeth a little bit less at night. Chances are it crosses our mind when we do the recycling or not, right? That fact, there were a million facts in that show and most of them probably passed me by. But that was all. He didn't say I should start recycling. He didn't say I should start running my taps less. It's just that I heard a fact and it changed what I did next. And so that's the absolute simplicity of this conversation, is that what John was pointing to over his retreat, what I do in my programs and in my work with you guys, is I point you to the fact. I point you to the facts. I point you to how your experience is created. And I say to you, or I say to you tonight, did you know? Did you know that thought creates experience? Not your husband, not your sister, not the lockdown, not your symptoms, not your workplace. Thought creates experience. Did you know that? Now, the degree to which you see that's true is the degree to which changes will happen in your life. But there's no prescription, there's no call to action. There's no, did you know that thought is true, therefore you should have a quieter mind? Did you know that thought is true, therefore you shouldn't ever get scared? Do you know that thought creates experience, so you should do less? There's no therefore. It's just truth. And the degree to which you know that thought creates experience will change your world next time you go interact with somebody, next time you bump into somebody, the degree to which you see it's true. So that's all your job is. It's really simple. You don't need to work out all the bits afterwards, like wisdom takes care of that. Your job is to look and see what's true. So did you know that your experience is coming from the inside out? It's thought experienced as if this world is real, solid and true. We're only ever experiencing thought, not thought plus our sister, not thought plus our job, not thought plus the lockdown. 100% thought 100% of the time. Did you know that's how it works? Did you know that every human being is born with the capacity to notice? Did you know that? That's a shift in consciousness. That every human being has the capacity to notice, and when they do, they see the world differently. Did you know that? There are no exceptions to that. There are no people who do not notice. There is no person that is immune from having a shift in consciousness and therefore a different experience. Did you know that's possible for every human being? And did you know that there's one essence behind everything, one formless nothingness from which everything comes? Everything comes. Did you know that? That's it. And that's the invitation, is to go look and see for yourself. Now, here's the really cool thing. You do already know all of those things. Your soul knows them to be true. Who you really are knows and recognizes all of those things because they are true already. You already know that. You know thought creates your experience because you know you've had one experience this morning of lockdown and one experience this afternoon, but lockdown didn't change. Thought changed. You know it already. You can see the evidence of it everywhere you look. You know it. You know, if you just take a moment, that you are aware, that you have the capacity to notice. It's undeniable. The principles point to truths that are undeniable if you just go look, because they are true. You really already know this. And is there a formless something that is the source of anything and everything in the world of form? You cannot not know that because you are made of it. It's your essence. Now, we can have plenty of stories in our minds that tell us you don't know that you need to get it, that you're not there yet. If only you could get it. You need that. I don't understand that. I don't know that. You can have as many thoughts as you want, It doesn't mean that who you really are doesn't already know that.